Imagine your baby snatched away from you. Imagine your own family's lying to you, betraying you, and has abandoned your child. Imagine multiple agencies and politicians refusing to help you, and instead they're assisting your family cover it up. Imagine a year-long battle against all odds to get your baby back, and even then you are being looked at with suspicion. This is the story of a young woman named Anupama Chandran from Kerala whose baby was snatched away and assumed to be given up for adoption. But before I get into her story, do remember that journalism like this costs resources, time and money. To keep journalism independent, we need your support. So click on the link below, become a TNM member, also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Anupama Chandran gave birth to a baby boy on October 19, 2020. But it was not a usual happy occasion. Anupama was 22 then. She was unmarried and had not revealed her pregnancy to her parents till September. Her partner Ajith, who was married before, was going through divorce with his first wife, and the couple did not want Anupama's parents to know about the pregnancy. When they finally revealed it in September 2020, her family objected to it. Anupama's father Jayachandran is no ordinary man. He is a CPIM and CITU leader and a branch committee member of the party. Anupama says her father Jayachandran and mother Smita James took her to a hospital to try abort the baby. When Ajith intervened at this point, they convinced him that they will take Anupama back to their house. They also said that the child's birth had to be kept a secret as Anupama's sister's wedding had already been fixed. But the family clearly had other plans by then. 4 days after Anupama's baby was born, her parents separated her from the baby as she had COVID-19. From the hospital, she was taken to a friend's house and the baby to another destination. For months, Anupama was not allowed to access her phone, speak to Ajith, or even see her baby. Finally, in March 2021, she escaped from her house and went to Ajith. Ajith, meanwhile, had secured a divorce and had been waiting for Anupama's sister's wedding to get over. Anupama and Ajith, like Jayachandran, were members of the CPIM and they approached many party leaders for help. They also went to the police, but help did not come from either sides. In fact, many people told them, this is a family issue, go solve it. But this was not a family issue, as two agencies had seriously bungled up and one at least had colluded with Jayachandran. There are two child welfare bodies involved in this story: the Child Welfare Committee or CWC, a quasi-judicial body, and the Shishu Kshema Samiti or Kerala State Child Welfare Council. There are two ways in which one can give up a child. One is to abandon the child in an electronic cradle run by the council, or to surrender the child with the CWC. If the child is placed in the electronic cradle, it is an anonymous activity. The council hands over the child to the CWC within 24 hours. No one knows who the family is, and the state decides to put up the child for adoption. Jayachandran has told the media repeatedly that he put the child in the cradle after speaking to authorities. But this is where the story gets murky. Anupama has alleged that her father knows Shiju Khan, who is the General Secretary of the council. The council knew that the baby being abandoned is hers, but no one informed her. This is a clear violation of the law. Because if these agencies know the baby's biological parent, then they are bound to provide counselling to that parent. Only after counselling, if the CWC is convinced that the biological parent cannot look after the child, can it give away the child for adoption. Anupama was not given any counselling. Instead, her father Jayachandran took a letter from her forcibly and claimed that she was abandoning the child at her own will. The story gets even worse from this point. The council handed over the child to CWC. On October 24th, CWC printed an ad in all newspapers as is mandated by the law. But as you can see, this ad claimed it was a female child. Such advertisements are placed in newspapers so that families who are looking for missing children can find where they are. So why did the CWC misgender this child? Anupama says it was intentional so that she would never find the child. CWC says it was a mistake. But the point is, not one person was suspended for this grave error. Now to the third part of the story, for which I'll have to rewind a bit. In March 2021, Anupama and Ajith approached the police, just like any of us would have, but no FIR was filed. They also wrote to several CPIM leaders, but not a single person helped. Finally, in April 2021, they approached the CWC. Due to the strict lockdown then, CWC asked them to come on a video call and send a complaint over WhatsApp. This is a screenshot of the complaint. The CWC had 2 children under its care who were both brought to them on the same day. The CWC allowed Anupama's DNA to be matched with one child, but the DNA samples did not match. The CWC, however, went ahead with the adoption procedures of the other child and did not allow a DNA matching. The CWC was aware from April to August that the custody of both these male children were under question. So why did they allow the adoption procedure to continue? Because of the CW's inactions, 2 families are suffering, Anupama and Ajith, and an adoptee family in Andhra Pradesh. And as if all this was not enough, someone in the CWC leaked the address of the adoptee parent to the media, and Malayalam channels reached their doorstep. The bond between an adoptee parent and a child is something that the government has a responsibility to protect. The fourth part of the story is the pure apathy and irresponsibility displayed by Kerala politicians and the government. Anupama and Ajith wrote to several people, including Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, Kodiyeri Balakrishnan, LDF convener A. Vijayaraghavan, former DGP Lokanath Behra, and many others. In fact, CPIM leader Srimati Teacher told the couple that the Chief Minister told her that this is just a family issue.
ചർച്ചക്കെടുക്കുന്നില്ല, അതാണ് വിഷയം. അതിലെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രശ്നമാണ്. മുഖ്യമന്ത്രിയോട് സംസാരിച്ചു. മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി പറഞ്ഞു അവരെ കുട്ടിയുടെ അച്ഛനും അവര് തന്നെ അത് ചെയ്യട്ടെ, നമുക്കതിന് റോള് കിട്ടാം.
In the beginning, these politicians could have been misled by Jayachandran, who has been claiming again and again about his plight as a father who sent his daughter to the college and instead she came back pregnant.
ഇപ്പോൾ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രിയൊക്കെ അന്നേ അറിഞ്ഞിരുന്നു എന്ന് പറയുന്നു, കുടുംബ പ്രശ്നമാണെന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നു. ശരി, അന്നാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് അതൊരു തെറ്റിദ്ധരിപ്പിച്ചതാകാം എന്ന് കരുതാൻ പറ്റും. പക്ഷേ ഇന്നത്തെ സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ ഈ ഷിജു ഖാനൊക്കെ ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറി ആയിരിക്കുന്ന ശിക്ഷേമ സമിതിയുടെ പ്രസിഡന്റ് സ്ഥാനം വഹിക്കുന്ന ആളാണ് മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി. അപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് അന്ന് റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല എങ്കിൽ ഇന്ന് എന്തുകൊണ്ട് അദ്ദേഹം റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു മറുപടി പറയുന്നില്ല, മൗനം പാലിക്കുന്നത് എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണെന്നുള്ളത് വളരെ വിഷമിക്കുന്നതും എന്നാൽ ആശങ്ക ഉണർത്തുന്നതുമായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു കാര്യമാണ്.
Anupama finally went to court and the court stayed the adoption procedures. The baby was brought back to Kerala on November 21st and a DNA test proved that it is indeed Anupama's baby. But imagine the discourse and slander in Kerala all this while. Much of the attention has been on Jayachandran's plight and what the first wife of Ajith had to say. But many forget that this is not a story on morality, but this is a story on a clear case of human rights violation.